You are then eternally a creator. And this is the one thing that you have no free will about. You can never decide to be a non-participant in the very mystery of creation's extension. Because when you hold the thought, I refuse to participate in God's creation, you have literally created the perception and therefore the experience of yourself as being outside or separate from creation itself. You've created the insane emotion of trying to separate the wave from the ocean itself. And you will create the perception of separation, even though nothing in reality has been affected. Why is this important? Because you see, the process of healing is not difficult. It requires only your willingness to accept that you are the effect of the Creator's desire to create like unto itself, as a wave is the effect of the ocean's desire to express itself in a new way, a new form, and to bring a uniqueness to every wave that arises from within its mysterious depths. Surrender, then, is the process in which you finally relent. You give up, resisting the fact of your very existence. You stop whining about it. You stop lamenting it. You stop worrying about it. You make the decision to get on with being alive. And what is alive about you is going to be alive forever. And there is no place to hide and nowhere to go. When you have dropped that pebble into the mind, I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm a ceaseless creator, made and of one substance with my Creator itself. Then indeed the questions begin to take a different shape. You begin to use the power of your awareness to deliberately and selectively choose which vibrations, which webs of relationships you're going to pull into your field of awareness, which ones you're going to resonate with and which ones you're going to let dissolve from your mind, from your awareness. And if you have held on to a thought of smallness, a thought of lack, a thought of powerlessness, now you begin to see that it's perfectly neutral, perfectly safe to look upon everything you've ever created and experienced and say, it is very good, and now I'm done with it. What's next? What pebbles can I drop into my holy mind in this very moment? Can I look upon the current experience I'm having and see that it's nothing but the effect, the ripple of a pebble or a thought that I dropped into my mind so long ago that I don't even remember it? Can I look upon those events that are unfolding around me, and if they're unfolding in your body, trust me, that is still around you, for you are much more than just the body. Can I begin now, and am I willing now, to drop a different pebble into the still and infinite clarity of the pool of awareness that is what is alive about me always? Dare I think a different thought? Dare I drop such a pebble into my consciousness. And so what pebbles could they be? I think I'll become a world savior, a Christ. What would that be like? What vibrations would I need to let go out of my life, and which ones would I need to open to? What would it feel like? What would I see as I look out through the field of my awareness at creation? I think I'll allow myself to be able to commune with any web of relationship, any soul, any being that exists on any plane of creation. Why, perhaps I'll even allow myself to know that I can be in communication with Joshua ben Joseph. How wealthy can I become in this third-dimensional reality? How many golden coins could I possibly create in order to give them away to others? How many places on the planet could I take a body and plop it down upon in the span of one short physical life? How many beings could I say, I love you to? How big can I make my heart be? How deep can I experience peace? The realm of possibilities is as infinite as you are, and the ones you select and choose are the ones that will create the web of relationships that you will call your life, your experience. Even right down to the quality of how you will experience the transition mistakenly called death in your world. Would you call it a death when you leave one room and close the door behind you and step into another room? Of course not. You just say, I was there, now I'm here. That is all that truly occurs when the molecules you've called to yourself are unglued because you release your value of them, and their constituents, their parts, dissolve back into the dust or the energy field of the planet. You merely leave one room and step into another. What I call you to in this hour is this: to be willing to allow the pebble to be dropped into your field or pool of awareness that carries the energy of the thought. From this moment forward, I elect to birth a Christ, and thereby learn what Christ is. And your experience becomes the unfolding learning of what Christ is. And when that learning completes itself, you discover that what you have learned is what you are created to be. And you have returned full circle, the prodigal son, journeying through the field of all possibilities, has returned as the awakened Christ and has taken up his or her rightful place at the right hand of the Creator. What does all that symbology mean? It just means you finally think only with your right-mindedness. You think as God thinks. And God thinks lovingly. God thinks infinitely, timelessly, patiently, certainly. And above all, God thinks playfully, full of play. When you feel welling up within you such love and such joy that you can hardly contain it, don't you start dancing and moving the body about, going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with all this energy? And you call your friends and say, let's have a party, let's go to a movie, let's create a delicious feast. Who could I write a letter to? Oh, who could I send flowers to? Don't you become caught up in the desire to let some energy expand out of you, to touch all parts of your creation? Well, imagine being God. Infinite, vast, without a top or a bottom or a left or a right. Filled with nothing but pure, unconditional, radiant love. Can you imagine being able to contain yourself and say, oh, I think I'll just sit here in this and not let anybody notice it? No. God said, let there be light. It was very good. And he looked upon all of creation, which literally means not just this planet, but all of an infinite number of creations of dimension upon dimension upon dimension, and all little webs of relationships called souls that he brought into existence in one split second and said, lo, it is very good. This is my play. And my joy, and my love, and my aliveness has poured forth and overflowed my grand being and brought forth into manifest creation you. You. Each and every you of you. Made of the very substance of that overwhelming love and playfulness. The power to create infinitely, and thereby to extend creation itself. That is who you are. And that is where you find yourself now. And now forever. And you will never escape it. Mastery comes when fear has been completely dissolved. And fear is dissolved not by fearing it, not by hating it, not by judging it, but by being looked upon with perfect innocence, embraced, in the same way that as a scientist would watch the ripples of a little pebble that's been dropped into a pool of water to see how they've created other ripples and other temporary disturbances in the field or the surface of the water. As you look within and notice the things you've become afraid of and how fear has constricted your creativity, your joy and your playfulness and your unlimitedness, you merely look with innocence and wonder and say, oh, I see how that ripple has affected the creation that I call my life. Do I like it? Not anymore. Good, I think I'll be rid of that. What can I replace it with? Mastery is a state in which you have embraced yourself as a ceaseless creator and assumed complete responsibility for everything which comes into the field of your awareness without judging it. So that you can simply decide whether it's going to stay or be dissolved in its effects. Mastery is fearlessness. No longer fearing the infinite creative power of your perfect union with God. I and my Father are one, is one expression of mastery. And if I, who uttered those words once so long ago in your experience of time, can demonstrate to anyone who will look that consciousness transcends the limited beliefs about the body and life and death that the world seems so determined to defend at all costs, if I can demonstrate that only love is real, if I can demonstrate the power to communicate with minds across creation, if I can bring forth creations by joining with other minds who may temporarily think they are just the body, such that written words fall upon a page and the page becomes part of a book that becomes part of something sitting on your shelf, such that your heart is touched at just the right time. If I can do these things, so too can you, and indeed greater things than these shall you do. Beloved friends, is it not time to assume complete responsibility for the grand freedom that has been imparted to you by Abba, Father, Creator, source of your being? Is it not time to begin spending time disengaging from your entangled view that holds you to believe that what you feel and what you think is the effect of all of the energies and things that are coming at you from around you, and begin to use time to decide which pebbles you will drop into the field of your awareness consistently, day by day, hour by hour, and even breath by breath. For these things create your tomorrows, and you cannot ever escape the reality that you are and always will be in the process of creating your tomorrows. Death will never separate you from it. Denial does not change it. And you are free to decide what your tomorrows will be through the act of seeking first the kingdom, which means to rest into that inner silence in which you know that you are a wave having arisen with perfect momentum out of the depth of the ocean of God's holy mind, and that what you carry with you is the result of the thoughts, and the beliefs, and the perceptions, like pebbles that you have dropped into the wave of your awareness. This very process is what created you, and this very process is how you have always created. If you've ever received an education, how did you end up with your body in a classroom? Did somebody kidnap you and set you down and say, here, you must learn these things? No. You first held a thought, a picture, and you placed a value upon it, and you attracted the means that carried you into the lived experience of receiving the education that you had decided upon. What relationship have you ever entered out of lack of awareness? None. You dropped the pebble into the mind that said, I want relationship with another being, another body, another place upon the physical planet. You've always been doing it. And you've always experienced the fruit or the effect of the quality of vibration of the pebble that has created the ripples that have become your experiences. In reality then, your experience, that is your awareness, what is true about you is no different than what is true about me. The only difference has been that I learned to train myself hour by hour to drop only unlimited pebbles that send out vibrations of unconditional acceptance and love and forgiveness and unconditional and unbridled vision and revelation. While you have selected to do that a few times, but then you rush back and pick up the pebbles of unworthiness or limitation or lack or fear or smallness, and you drop 10 or 12 quick ones in. Then you go back to the other cupboard and go, the pebble that says, I and my Father are one. Oop, had enough of that. Back you go again. So while I stay on this side of the fence going, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. I am unlimited beingness forever. How many universes can I be the savior of today? You have gone, that sounds very good. I and my Father are one. Oh, here's a pebble that says, my car needs to break down today. This is all there is. Which side of the fence are you going to sit on and drop the pebbles in? Which tree will you eat the fruit thereof? The tree of knowledge of good and evil? Use that symbology well. For when you drop the pebble in the pond, it is like saying, well, I think I'll take a bite of this piece of fruit. Oh, but it's so sweet, it's so good and so perfect, I better have a bite of a rotten one too to balance it out. The tree of good and evil, positive and negative, unlimitedness, limitation, forgiveness, judgment, love, fear. Just like holding a beautiful flower and seeing the petals and going, oh, it's so beautiful, I can't quite take it, so I think I'll prick my finger on the thorn and bring myself back down. No one ever told you, and your Creator never insisted, that you eat of the tree of good and evil. For all good fruit has been given you freely, and you are always free to choose which fruit you will eat thereof. I and my Father are one. What a blessed creation. I've been having so much fun as this wave. Yes, I see what I've carried along with me. Well, it was fun. I gained a few things. Now what's next? Unlimitedness, kerplunk. Perfect love, kerplunk. Wealth, kerplunk. The ability to heal, kerplunk, kerplunk, kerplunk. Oh yes, I see that little pebble over there sitting on the shore that I've picked up 1,000,000 times. Unworthiness, kerplunk. But no more. Be done with you. I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. Father, create through me the good, the holy, and the beautiful. For this is the reason for my beingness. How big of a wave can I become? How powerful can I become? How radiant can I become? How much of you can I express through me? Kerplunk. For remember well that you are creating your tomorrows now. And what you experience never comes to you from outside yourself. If you worry over lack of golden coins, kerplunk, and you begin to attract the vibrational ripples that will seem to picture back to you, reflect back to you, the truth that you have chosen to believe. I live in lack and I can't get out. Kerplunk. I can't possibly talk to Joshua. I'm not worthy. Maybe this my beloved brother that you call the John Mark, perhaps he's worthy enough, but then he's special. Kerplunk. And the vibrational waves that come to you are that static that restricts your ability to transcend the third dimension and plug into others. So that even if I yell and shout, "Hey, I'm talking to you, listen," the mind says that's not possible, because I've dropped a rock in, kerplunk, that says it's not possible. And therefore, I do not hear a thing. Do you begin to get the picture? Do you begin to feel in the core of your beingness the essence of this hour's message? You cannot escape being what you are created to be, and in each and every moment you are literally using that ceaseless and unlimited power to create. And you remain perfectly free at any time to create anew. And what you will experience in your tomorrows is only the effect of which pebbles you are choosing to drop into the field of your awareness as thoughts now. So the only question is, and with this question we will complete this short message, but a very important message upon which we will be building. The question is this: am I, as a creative being made in the image of God, willing to deliberately, consciously, and actively to choose being responsible for which thoughts, which pebbles are dropped into my mind in each moment? And if the answer is yes, what do I want the new pebbles to be? What vibrational qualities will I call to myself and thereby create my tomorrows? Any time you react to what you believe is outside of yourself, you may be absolutely positive of this. You have elected to pick up that old pebble that said, I'm a victim of the world I see. What I experience is caused by forces outside of me. The fault really is in my mother, my brother, my father, my child. The fault really is in the government and the planet and the quality of air. The fault really is from a source outside of me, and I have no choice but to react to it. To which I can only say, would you rather be right or happy? Therefore, indeed, beloved friends, consider well the essence of the message of this hour, for upon this we will begin to build as we move toward the ending of this year of the way of the heart, which is but a foundation from which those that are willing can spring forth into a grander dimension, a grander experience of living as a deliberate co-creator with God. But it all begins with the need to be responsible for owning the truth of the message of this hour. For without that, there can be no change in your consciousness and therefore in what you will experience in your tomorrows. So if there's something in your present that makes you shudder, just think what's waiting for you if you once again deny choosing this responsibility and the power that comes with it. And with that, indeed, beloved and holy friends, remember that I come not to bring peace to the world, but to shake it up, so that those beings who make up the world can discover where true peace is truly hidden within themselves, and where heaven abides within themselves, and where Christ lives within themselves. Peace then be unto you always. Amen.
For a free catalog of Shanti Cristo books and tapes, you may visit our website at www.shanticristo.com. That's www.shanticristo.com.